Bluebell Wood Children's Hospice is, as the name suggests, a children's hospice. We provide a variety of care to children and families where the children has life-limiting conditions, and we work across the whole of South Yorkshire, Derbyshire, Notts, and we're based just outside Dinnington. So what we primarily do is children will come and stay with us for a period of time, 2, 3, 4 days, and that's respite care. So we're providing a break for their parents, for their carers, and looking after their needs while they're here. We also take in children who need some emergency care, so if their conditions have worsened or they need some management, and then we also look after children at the end of life, so their families will come and stay with us and we will look after them at that point in their journey. We have a large team of fundraising volunteers, so those are either individuals or groups of people who go and do a huge amount of different things for us. They'll put on events, small and large. They will do bake sales, they'll do coffee mornings. They will just do a huge amount of work for us that raises money. And then we have volunteers who work in the hospice itself. So we have a very small team of volunteers, for example, who do reception work for us downstairs in the hospice. Some work in the kitchens, some work with our cleaning teams. So we have volunteers that do a whole myriad of kind of functions for us. And as I say, that's over 600 volunteers, which is a huge amount. It costs a little over 5 million a year to run the hospice. And that's all of its costs, and we get, on average, about 15% of that from NHS sources. So the rest of the money we have to raise ourselves. We've got a team of fundraisers who go out and do that, but the volunteers are invaluable to that piece. So they will do all sorts of things. When we could run big events, so 12 months ago when we ran big events, they would come and volunteer at those events, be marshals, stewards for fun runs, things like that. They would man stalls, they would sell Christmas cards, they just do a huge amount for us. And we have supporter groups, so in all the areas we work in, we have a supporter group, and that's a group of volunteers. We support them to enable them to go out and do activity. As I say, some of them do small events, some of them do large events, some of them do regular activity, some of them will do something once a year that brings in a lot of money. And that all contributes to that £5 million we have to raise every year to keep the doors open. During COVID, we've obviously not been able to run events. We haven't been able to do the big fundraising activity that we'd normally do, and we haven't been able to have. Our shops were closed for a long time, and we haven't been able to have volunteers actually in the hospice. So that's really changed the way that we work with volunteers. What has happened is a number of volunteers have done things like make face coverings for us. There's been a number of volunteers who made scrubs for our care staff, so our nurses and our support workers, and actually it's changed the way that we work. So we haven't been able to see all of our volunteers for a long time and in the ways that we normally might. So what I'd just like to do is say a huge thank you to all of those volunteers who support Bluebell Wood. Without you, we couldn't do what we do.
something else inside me. Something dark. And it's become like my best friend in a way. I don't feel anything. I can't really. I've taken drugs. I've had plenty of sex, and I've engaged in much darker and debaucherous activities that I don't care to mention, but still, nothing. No lasting spike of dopamine, no feeling of gratification, just an aching feeling of emptiness. What I crave is suffering and pain. All that is bad and nothing that is good.
Here at GRIMM & Co, we work with children and young people doing creative writing workshops that are free to all aged 7 to 18. We aim to champion the writer in every single child, and we do this by doing creative writing activities that help raise their aspirations, improve their literacy skills, and help build their self-esteem. We also work with an amazing bunch of volunteers from the local area. They help us mentor children and young people, and we provide them with lots of training opportunities and a chance to give back a meaningful way of helping in their local community. They have lots of different opportunities that can help them move on to further education and work experience, and we want to say a huge thank you for them for all of their hard work. Thank you.